Many people with dementia live at home, whether with family or other carers or alone. The role of caring for people with dementia at home is an important job for many home care staff. In addition to working confidently with service users in one-to-one situations, home carers must also form a good working relationship with family members that recognises their needs too. Good person-centred care requires skill, patience, empathy, energy, motivation, and vocation. Skill is often displayed in the expertise that a carer uses to work sensitively with service users, showing an understanding of their complex needs. A person with dementia may take much longer to carry out activities than other people. A patient carer recognises this and facilitates the person to do what they can at their own pace.
It's all right, Mr. Curtin. There's no rush. You've got plenty of time. There you go.
When carers are working in a person-centred way, they're tuned into the feelings of the person with dementia and can identify with them at a feelings level. Recognising and meeting the complex needs of a person with dementia demands a great deal of a carer, both physically and emotionally. Person-centred carers are acting on the fundamental belief that all people with dementia can experience well-being through the way that they're interacted with. Motivation is sustained by managers who support carers and show them that they're valued.
I wanted to talk to you about Mrs. Benson. Her husband's written to me.
There's nothing wrong, is there?
No, quite the opposite. He wanted to tell me how much he values the way you are with his wife. It says in his letter, Christine's made such a difference to the quality of both our lives. Would you like to read the letter?
Thank you. Oh, that's lovely.
Being a carer is so much more than just a job. It requires a special personality that's driven to supporting people rather than managing problems. When carers are enabled to fulfil their own potential in this way, there's a great deal of satisfaction in giving care and supporting others. This video will help you to understand the practice of person-centred care of people with dementia and how the way that you work with a person with dementia can affect their ability. People with dementia are unique individuals who rely on special skills and qualities of good carers. The values that are at the heart of person-centred services are individuality and identity, rights, choice, privacy, independence, dignity, and partnership. A person-centred approach to understanding and working with people with dementia, as identified by Kitwood 1993, is where dementia is the result of a complex interaction between 5 main elements: personality, biography, health, neurological impairment, and social psychology. Let's have a look at each of these in turn. Personality.
Mrs. Arnold, your son told me you always like to look smart all the time. It's important to you, isn't it? Would you like some help with those buttons?
Yes, please.
Biography.
My father did national service in the army. He's always been strict about timekeeping.
Oh, that would explain why he was so cross with me yesterday. I was late helping him with his lunch.
Health.
Mrs. Benson refused her breakfast and her lunch today.
I wonder if she's got toothache again. I'll suggest to Mr. Benson that maybe he should book her a dentist appointment.
Neurological impairment.
We saw the doctor yesterday and he thinks my father may have had another mini stroke. That's probably why he's having much more difficulty with his self-care now.
How you interact with people can have a significant impact, either for better or worse. You can undermine a person and cause feelings of ill-being, or can create an environment that's empowering to the person and nurtures well-being. Social psychology.
Here you are, Mrs. Benson. He was lost again, but he's safe now.
Carers who work with people with dementia must have good communication skills and be person-centred in their practice. This means that you should View dementia as a disability, not a disaster. Assume everything people do and say is potentially meaningful and therefore important. Get to know the individual and see their life history as important. Help people to maintain good physical health. Provide appropriate stimulation. Provide emotional support to the person with dementia.
I had a good chat with Mr. Benson last night. He's trying really hard.
I feel sorry for Mr. Benson. Mrs. Benson can't do anything now.
Oh, don't say that. I think they're still very close as a couple. You can tell Mrs. Benson really loves him. Just look at the way her face lights up when he comes in the room.
I suppose so.
Oh, I love the smell of that lavender bubble bath.
She's just a baby, you know. She's just a baby.
She's a baby.
Yes.
You seem sad that she's a baby.
Mrs. Arnold is referring to herself as a baby, and the carer is showing her that she recognises how she feels. Family members can be key in gathering information about what is important to the person with dementia.
This is a lovely photo of you, Mrs. Benson. You look like a film star.
You used to be a model, didn't you, darling?
Ooh, did you travel a lot?
I'm worried about Mrs. Arnold. She's very wobbly when she stands and she's not walking very much.
Right, we need to check that her feet are all right because she sometimes has trouble with a bunion. I'll ask the chiropodist to call in. If he doesn't find anything, we may need to call the doctor in. Maybe she's getting an infection, or it might be that her medication needs reviewing.
Oh, Mr. Kern, what are you listening to? Has the channel got changed again? I'll change it back, shall I? There you go, that's better, isn't it? Let's have a listen to this for a bit.
Sometimes people with dementia will be feeling lonely and insecure because they can't make sense of situations they find themselves in. A person-centred carer gives comfort to the individual, looking beyond the facts that the person with dementia is saying to the feelings that they're expressing.
Mrs. Arnold, whatever is the matter?
I want Kuma. Kuma has left me. I want Kuma.
I understand you must miss your husband terribly. It's natural to be upset. Would you like me to sit here for a while with you?
It's very kind of you, but I don't want you to get into trouble.
That's all right, Mrs. Arnold. I won't get into trouble. That's why I'm here, to help you when you need me.
Thank you.
Carers must also be sensitive to the feelings of relatives and recognise that it may be difficult for a family member to hand over the role of personal carer to another.
All right, darling.
Come on then, Mrs. Benson, I've run a lovely bubble bath for you.
I suppose I'll have to do the cleaning up again.
Oh, I know, Mr. Benson. It must be difficult having someone else look after your wife for you. I know. Why don't we help you to get into the bath, Mrs. Benson, and help you to have a good wash? And then your husband can come through and wash your back for you.
Oh, that'll be nice. You'll enjoy that.
All right. Well, we'll tidy up and then just give me a call when it's time to help get Mrs. Benson out.
In summary, caring for people with dementia is a very skilled job. Take a moment to reflect on whether you apply any of these skills in your day-to-day practice. View dementia as a disability, not a disaster. Assume everything people do and say is potentially meaningful and therefore important. Get to know the individual and see their life history as important. Help people to maintain good physical health. Provide appropriate stimulation. Provide emotional support to the person with dementia.